Everyone, students. So today we will be seeing the concept of blockchain. Okay, so ideally you might have at least heard the term called blockchain, which is still it's not been complete. It's still emerging concept in our society. So we'll see like what do we mean by a blockchain and how it is being developed, what is the functionality, who all people are being involved in, and why this blockchain concept came. It's like those people are thinking in a concept that we don't need a central authority so that anyone can do anything. Okay, so that is the concept, or that was the idea that changed or come up with a particular concept called blockchain. That is why we are calling it as a decentralization. So if I take one example to make you clear what do we mean by a decentralization, just opposite you think. Like even though if we want to send a money to one person to another person, of course we have a central authority called bank, isn't it? Because bank is something which is evaluates my balance and makes sure my server it is being reachable and whether it is being going into the internet person, isn't it? So even though if I am also earning a cash, I need the a, a request, isn't it? I'm requesting the bank also to initiate my transaction. But here we are thinking in a concept like why don't we have a era that we don't need a central authority. So that is why we are calling it as a decentralization and transparency. It is nothing but even though if we share the data, everyone can see. So that is also a problem. But we'll see. Okay, what do you mean by transparency in detail? And immutability, it's very simple. Like once the transaction is being recorded, we can't change it. That is why we are using hashing functions. I believe you know what is a hash function. It is nothing but once a data is being hashed, we cannot change it. And usually we are using it for passwords where we don't need for read the password, isn't it? Then comes security and how blockchain works. So basically, who all people are involved in blockchain. So basically, as I already told, it's like decentralized, isn't it? So we don't have a common authority in blockchain. So it's like we call those people as miners. So like there are two kinds of people, miners and ordinary people. Even I or you, anyone can become a part of blockchain. If we have all the facilities, if we have the high performance hardware, we can, you know, uh, mine or we can verify the data. And when I use the term called miners, it is nothing but those people can earn bitcoins. I believe you know what's a bitcoin. It is nothing but a cryptocurrency, which is nothing but it's not a physical, it's a digital currency. So like one bitcoin values for this much amount of money. But that also we need a normal CPU or GPU cannot mine this process. Of course, we need, we call it as an ASIC. Okay. So it depends upon we need a high a performance hardware is required for mining for to do the verification. So it's like how we are going to solve the mathematical puzzle. The more my system is or how fast my system is going to compute, the more I will be able to get the mine so that I can also create a node and based on that the transaction will get recorded and based on that I can get rewards. It's again a competition. So basically blockchain is a combination. We are calling it as a node and each node consists of the transactions and the second node will consist of the stores the data of the previous node. That is why always, like for example, if I'm having four nodes, say the data is on the second node and it has the ability to store the previous, which means hash value it will be storing the previous one. So even though if any person tries to tamper, it won't gonna happen unless or until it is being. So that is how the blockchain works. So it's like a combination of nodes and inside we can create. So it's like a combination of blocks and inside we can create more nodes. Okay, it's not like in one block we will only be able to create one sort of a data. No. Inside a particular block we can store as much as of nodes. Likewise, how our memory works in the system. So same thing only we are using in the concept of blockchain. The only thing you need to keep in your mind, like we don't have any central authority. So when I say verification, all people can verify, I can verify, you can also verify, as well as miners. So miners is a different concept. That is, I already told you, we should be having a high performance hardware. Like we don't have like normal CPU, normal GPU cannot compute this. So that is why the system will be giving you a mathematical puzzle and we need to solve this. That is why we call that concept as proof of work. So after solving it, the first system which is about to solve it will get a chance to store this data and they will get a reward of cryptocurrency, which is the digital currency. So this is the ethical issues that we are facing in blockchain. As I already told you, we are using a high performance of hardware. So of course, energy consumption will be more in this particular concept. Then comes data privacy problems. This is what I told. If I wanted to send a Bitcoin to one person, all the nodes which has been a part or all the verifiers which has been the part of the blockchain will be able to see the data. And why? Because it's essential, because they want to know what's the balance, what the amount that I have sent. So it's exposing the data. Then comes irreversibility. As I already told you, once the data has been saved in a particular node, we cannot change it. We cannot tamper it. That is why it's like a chain of process, isn't it? If I take one particular block, that block consists of the hash value of the previous block. So tampering once the data has been recorded, we cannot change it. So these are the things that we have discussed related to introduction to blockchain. Basically, it's a very vast topic, but we should be understanding first of all the introduction and why this concept got came and what is the ethical issues that we were facing in the blockchain. So thank you so much.